Scientists have just confirmed it. Our planet's plates are shifting, and it means something big is coming. But what exactly is happening, and what does it mean for you? It has been over 200 million years since we had a supercontinent, a massive landmass that contained all of the Earth's land. The last one was called Pangaea, and it broke apart around 175 million years ago. Now scientists are saying that history could be about to repeat itself. You see, our planet's outer layer, its crust, is made up of gigantic slabs of rock called tectonic plates. These plates float on top of the planet's mantle, which is like a thick layer of hot, gooey rock. And even though they're called plates, they're not flat. They look more like puzzle pieces that fit together. And just like puzzle pieces, these plates can move around, and they do so all the time. It's how we get earthquakes, volcanoes, and even mountain ranges. But now scientists are saying that these plates are getting ready to do something they haven't done in hundreds of millions of years. Something that will change the world as we know it, possibly for the worse. According to a new study by scientists at the University of Texas, the Atlantic Ocean is getting smaller and the Americas are moving towards Europe and Africa. To understand what this means, let's take a closer look at the theory of plate tectonics. As I mentioned earlier, the Earth's crust is broken up into several large and small plates. These plates are constantly moving, but very slowly, only a few centimeters per year, which is about as fast as your fingernails grow. Now, because these plates are always moving, sometimes they run into each other. When this happens, the denser plate usually sinks down under the other one. This is called subduction. Subduction zones are where some of the Earth's biggest earthquakes and volcanoes happen. For example, the San Andreas Fault in California is a place where two plates, the Pacific Plate and the North American Plate, meet. As the Pacific Plate moves towards the east, it's being pushed under the North American Plate. This process is also what's responsible for the mountain ranges we see today. You see, when two continental plates collide, neither one is able to sink under the other. Instead, they crumple up and form mountains. One of the most famous examples of this is the Himalayas. These mountains are still growing today as the Indian Plate continues to push northwards into the Eurasian Plate. The collision between these two plates began around 50 million years ago, and it's still going on today. In fact, the Himalayas are still rising by about 4 millimeters each year. Now, what does this all have to do with the supercontinent? Well, according to a new study published in the journal Frontiers in Earth Science, the Atlantic Ocean is getting smaller. This is due to the Americas moving towards Europe and Africa. Now don't worry, there's no need to pack your bags just yet. We're not going to see any major landfall for thousands of years. But this is an important discovery because it shows that something big is happening beneath the surface of our planet. Something that will eventually lead to the formation of a new supercontinent. The scientists who made the discovery used a technique called paleomagnetism to study the movement of the Earth's plates. Paleomagnetism is the study of the Earth's magnetic field as recorded in rocks. Rocks contain minerals that act like tiny magnets. As they're formed, they align themselves with the Earth's magnetic field. This means that by studying the alignment of these magnetic particles, we can work out the direction a plate was moving in when it was formed. Using this technique, the researchers found that the North and South American plates are moving at a rate of about 2.5 centimeters per year. That's twice as fast as they were moving in the past. Now, this might not seem like much, but remember that these plates are humongous. They're literally the size of entire continents. Even a small change in their movement can have huge consequences. The researchers say that the driving force behind this movement is the reorganization of the Earth's mantle. The mantle is the layer of the Earth between the crust and the core. It's about 2,900 kilometers thick and makes up a whopping 84% of the Earth's volume. Despite being so massive, we know relatively little about the mantle because it's impossible to directly observe it. The only way we can study the mantle is by indirectly observing the movement of the Earth's crust. Now, thanks to modern technology, scientists are starting to get a better understanding of what's happening beneath the surface. They've discovered that the mantle is not a static, rigid layer of rock. Instead, It's a dynamic and ever-changing environment that plays a major role in shaping the Earth's surface. One of the most interesting features of the mantle is the way it convects. Convection currents are created by the heat from the Earth's core. This heat causes the mantle to move in a circular motion. Hot material rises while cooler material sinks. This process is similar to boiling water in a pot. It's the same basic principle that drives weather patterns on the Earth's surface, but instead of happening on the surface, it's happening beneath our feet. These convection currents are what drive the Earth's plates along with them. As the plates move, they interact with each other in different ways. Sometimes they collide, as we talked about earlier, but they can also spread apart. This happens at places called divergent plate boundaries. These are areas where magma can rise up from the mantle and create new crust. This is how the ocean basins are formed. In the case of the Atlantic Ocean, the two plates are moving apart at a rate of about 2.5 centimeters per year. This means that the ocean is getting wider by about 2.5 centimeters every year. Now, you might be wondering why we're not seeing any new land. After all, if the plates are moving apart, shouldn't we be seeing new land form in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean? Well, yes, we should. And we do see new land forming, but it's not happening in the Atlantic Ocean. Mid-ocean ridges are underwater mountain ranges that are created at divergent plate boundaries. Magma rises up from the mantle and solidifies, creating new oceanic crust. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is the longest mountain range on Earth, stretching for over 60,000 kilometers. But despite being so long, it's mostly underwater. Only a small section of it, known as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, is above sea level. So when people talk about the Atlantic Ocean getting wider, they're referring to the fact that the distance between the Americas and Europe and Africa is increasing. This is because the two plates that make up the Atlantic Ocean are diverging, meaning they're moving apart. So what does this mean for us? Well, as the plates continue to move, we'll see more earthquakes and volcanoes, especially in areas where the plates are colliding. For example, the area around the Mediterranean Sea is likely to be particularly affected. This is because the African plate is moving northwards towards the Eurasian plate. The two plates are expected to collide in about 25 million years from now. When they do, it will create a mountain range similar to the Himalayas. Some scientists even believe that this collision will eventually lead to the formation of a new supercontinent. This supercontinent has been dubbed Amasia. It would contain all of the Earth's land, just like Pangaea did millions of years ago. Of course, this is all speculation, and it remains to be seen whether or not Amasia will ever form. But it's an interesting theory nonetheless. Here's what we know for sure, though. The Earth's plates are always moving, and they'll continue to move for millions of years to come. And as they move, they'll shape our planet in ways we can't even imagine. And that's all for now. But if you want to keep learning about the amazing discoveries being made in the world of science, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, keep thinking.